Hey y'all, Devin Harris here. Today we're going to be doing that Boss DS-1 distortion pedal mod I've been talking about. We're going to put the Guitar Burgers British mod on it. So if that's something you'll be interested in, stick around. Alright, so here we are. The DS-1, got the soldering iron going. So as you know, this is a video that's part of a series about the DS-1. You know, these things are notorious for getting hated on, but it's actually a really good circuit. It's easy to mod. Today should be proof. So I'm doing the Guitar Burger mod from, I think I got it on eBay, but you can do them on Reverb or eBay. He's a cool guy. You can ask him questions if you need any help. He basically just puts these little circuit mod kits together and makes it easy for everyone. You know, so really cool. Cool cat. Can't remember exactly where he's at. I'll have to go look at it. But I'll try to put a link of it in the description. So there's this sticker. I'll put that on the side or something. Okay, so let's delve right into this thing. Alright, so it gives you a nice big picture of the inside of the circuit here, which I'll also show you in raw form here in a minute. And he also, you know, gives you a link, like there's a YouTube video, which obviously we won't be looking at today. Alright, so there's our circuit. So far, the only thing I've done to it is clip the diodes out, the actual clipping diode, so it's just more of an open distortion. There's the chip. And and of course I put one like 300k resistor right there. It's different than all the gray ones in there, just because this thing got soaking wet one time laying on the floor and needed some love. Right before I got ready to do all this, which was kind of a cluster. Alright, so here we go. We'll get right into it. Tells you the first thing you do right there, desolder the resistor at R14. So you can go through, if you want, you can look up a schematic, but it's pretty easy to look around on here. Just about everywhere they did it was, you know, it's laid in their machine, so you can read them all. So if you look around, R14 is the resistor right here coming out of the op amp, which is your main tone. It's like the operational amplifier of the pedal. There it is, that little bitty white thing, if you can see it. So we're going to take that guy out and replace it with the blue one he's got for me, which I'm guessing is probably just changing the parameter of it just a little bit. Alright. So yeah, we're going to get that. Go to R12, take that out, and we're going to replace it with that guy right there. I don't know if I can get it. You can see it, but yeah. So yeah, I'm almost certain this is probably the EQ coming out of the op amp. I think that's what this is going to be affecting. This is going to be the main source of your tones. So of course you need a solder sucker for this. That thing is just going to create a vacuum right there when you get that solder hot and take it right off the pod or source bucket, wherever you're trying to desolder. One is gone, it's out of there. Now today I've got my soldering gun put to about half temperature. That's something that you really want, is a soldering gun that will change temps if you can. Now this thing's kind of big and wide, So, you know, it's not the best tool for the trade. You really want a smaller one for this, but if you've got one like me that will adjust temperature, then you can kind of work with it better. Basically, if you just have a big honking soldering iron, you got it really hot, you can just totally melt out the circuit board paneling on this. It's easier to do than you think. Because it's just copper and plastic. You know. Get that thing out of there. Sometimes you will have to kind of push and pry to get these rods to come out. Like I said, this is why you want more of a smaller precision soldering iron. Alright, I think I got it ready to come out. Alright, so now as you can see, got the blue resistor in there. Okay. So let's move along. I tried to make it as neat as I could. You can tell they're a little bit bigger drops than the rest of the board, but it is what it is. It'll work. Alright, now moving on to step 2. Desolder the capacitor at C12. Solder in the enclosed 223 cap, and you got to read on them. They're marked, but sometimes, because the way he probably has to run them off pretty quick to people, you know, they're like that. The number got ripped off, so you got to get up in there and read it. And, you know, I'm not going to be able to get it close enough for you to read, I doubt it. But that is it. It's 223 right there, so we're going to untake that from the paper like you got it. Alright, let's get that thing in there. So in this nice picture, it gives you an idea where it is over there behind the plate resistor. So yeah, we're going to C12. C12, and it is so it looks like it's a 10K resistor. I'm guessing that was too much, so let's clean this bad boy up. So this is a British mod that's supposed to make it sort of Marshall-y like. We'll see how that all works out. Alright. So we get it hot, put the solder sucker to it, and get all the solder back out of the hole there. That way we can pull the rods out, otherwise it's a pain in the ass. again, I want to kind of push the rod up and through. Hot solder. Boom. Just like that. That's the best way I found to get them when they're pushed in. Because that's how they put them in at the factory, is like I did it. Unless it was done by a machine, which a lot of times it is. But it still pulls out the rods as it cools down. Oh, well, of course, I desoldered the wrong thing. It's hard to see sometimes on the circuit boards. I'll correct it though. These are things you'll learn, but you know, as you work with a soldering gun more and you eye boards, they're real tiny, so. But it's easy to correct things. Just have patience with them and it'll all work out right. The biggest thing I wanted to show with this mod is that anybody that's pretty competent with a soldering gun can mod their own pedals if they really take the time and are patient with it. So if you can just work a soldering gun well and take your time with it, you can make this happen for yourself. And save potentially a lot of time and money getting sound out of pedals, and you know, it can keep you from buying other pedals maybe, depending on what kind you have and what you want to do with them or what you want to hear out of them. It's a pretty good skill to have. Fixing stuff, you know, if you ever got to fix old boards or anything like that. If I can get this out. Alright, it's out, and it was 104K capacitor, and he's probably going to bring that up some, so it's not so murky, because it can get muddy on the bottom end, which also I think adds to the fizzliness of the breakup. Alright, yep, so yeah, he's putting this 223 in, and of course he's bringing it up, fatten it up some. He calls this the clarity mod too, like this add the clarity mod to it. So it's essentially two of his mods, I reckon. Yeah, it's a cool circuit to mod. It's kind of easy and everything's familiar parts. So let's get this guy in C12. Go from there. my problem. Still a little solder on here, so where you need the solder sucker again. I think I heard an annoying girlfriend in the background or something. I don't know. No telling. You'll have that around here sometimes. Like little elves walk around in the background. You just hear them giggling. You know something's went awry. You never know. But you never know what. That's the problem. It's too late. Alright, here we go. Alright. That cap seated. Alright, get seated up there. As you can see, just to give you more of a closer concept. So I got the wires fed through, and then I bend them down into place. Now I'm going to dredge my solder into them so they get down in the hole a little bit on the circuit board. Makes for a better solder, and you won't get any cold spots. Alright. Then I've been using a cuticle cutter. That's what the girl calls it. I don't know what it is. I guess it's a cuticle cutter. I reckon. Alright. Alright, that guy's in there. Nice and clean. As you can see. Alright. Let's move along here. Getting into this video, we're getting it kind of long. This will be the longest one I've done yet, y'all, but I'm hoping y'all are enjoying that there. If not, feel free to rate me in the comments. It'll be alright. Alright, we're going to desolder the capacitors at C5 and C9 and put in the enclosed 105 capacitors. So that means there's two 105s. I bet you it's those big boys right there. And sure enough, that's them. Cut those out of there. It's too much glue to fuck with. Don't fuck with all that. It's too much. Alright, here we go. So we're looking for C5 and C9. It gives us an idea of where they're going to be right there in front. Alright, C5 right there. Yeah, C5 and I don't see C9. I'll find it. Well, C9 is this barrel capacitor right here, okay? I'm going to replace those two guys. Alright, so I'm going to start with that guy. So really, this is just the hardest part. It's just really tracing down the parts. Once you find them, and find where they correlate on the back, which is, trust me, harder than it thinks. Harder than you think. Alright, that guy's out. So that's what I mean by barrel capacitor. You've probably seen those in a lot of things. Those are in just about anything now, any kind of electronics. Even a non-guitar junkie like me knows what those are. Yep. C9 soldered up. Always wipe that sucker clean. Sizzle like fried bacon. Don't smell quite as nice though. Alright, the sucker's in. So you can see one of those guys are in. We'll go ahead and go for the next one. This looks like a connection. One of the tips on C5 is connected with another capacitor, or no, a resistor. What's going on there, but I'm sure it's part of the circuit. It doesn't look like one I messed with. Yep, sure enough, that's supposed to happen. So yeah, 683K resistor. So this is all this tone stack, it looks like, is what we're messing with here. Tone stack of the DS-1. Yeah, I hear one of them else over there twitching in the corner again. Alright, clip those ears, and that one's in. Alright, that looks nice. So boom, 2 capacitors in there. Now, we got one last. We got to put a 223. Or actually, we're putting a 333 in cap C3. Right down there. So let's find C3. Alright, yep, C3 right there. Alright, let's take that sucker out of there. Ooh, it's kind of like a loose tooth already. I probably would have been a little source of, I've been having a little noise. So I like to grab one end, like the capacitor on one side, and then desolder from the other and just pull it out. That's the easiest. And then you can hit the solder sucker to clean them up later. It makes it a little bit easier to feed the new piece in. So yeah, all these old school clay caps. Oh, our 4K resistor. Let's get that last one in there. And then we'll do a quick sound test. And then later on I'll do a full demo of the sound and what I think about the difference, and maybe we'll post it to his page and see what he thinks about it. So that's the last one in. And I'll be right back in just a second with a sound review. Thanks, y'all. Much love. Alright, here we are. I got the 335 through the Bulgaria again, the Samick 335. Basic, good, clean tone going. Here we go. What does she sound like? Pretty sweet. Let's see here. Get a little game. Definitely sounds way better than a stock DS-1 now. Less fizz, less bass. Alright, see what it does when we crank that gain. it back. Now again, this is still different than if you just take your stock DS-1 and give it the British mod, because I've cut the clipping diode, so it's more like an overdrive, but it sounds sweet. I'm sure it still sounds sweet if you left the clipping diodes, but it'd still be more like a distortion. This is getting a little more overdrive. It should clean up when I cut it back some now too. That's nice. Don't mind my dirty pots out. I've been scared to clean them in the 335. I'll get around to it. It's a big process. So again, more like an overdrive. We'll cut the tone a little bit back up and drive the clean, drive the level. So even with the clipping diodes off, there's still a lot of gain coming out even without the distortion cut up. So you can imagine that with the clipping diodes, although you'd have a little less level, so it might be more smooth. I have a smoother tone. I get that early Eric Clapton woman tone kind of thing going on. Probably you can get a little bit of a Leonard Skinner kind of martially sound going on, you know. So anyway, alright y'all, this has been Devin Harris. This is the British mod. I'll do a full review maybe at some point of this guy. If y'all are interested, let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe and come on back. Much love.